And Koryan says ready. And Batfoy says ready. Man, this is happening way too fast. So, you want to go ahead and count it down there, Mr. Ocal?
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Wow. You sound like a wrestling announcer or something. Have you ever done any wrestling announcing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It sounds like this Kyle guy that I used to know.
Kevin and Kyle, back again.
That's right.
The band is back together.
Oh, that's right. And Dilo says this is a semifinal rematch from last month as well. That is true.
So here we go. Here's Koryan taking on Batfoy. Did you know that raspberries, thanks to a traumatic incident from his past? This according to the chat. Thank you very much to the chat for giving us some delightful facts on all of our competitors here this evening.
All right, so both players on the board with Tetris is Koryan with a couple, Batfoy with one. Neither player pushing down. Koryan a hyper tapper, Batfoy not a hyper tapper. He is a DAS player. And Batfoy, I believe, still youngest max out. I believe Batfoy still youngest max out, unless he's been superseded. There's so much activity on Twitch, and people who are just like getting out of third grade and maxing out. But I believe Batfoy, for a time, did have youngest max out, but might have been superseded by Mick Porkchop. I don't remember if Mick Porkchop was younger or not.
Where the facts are coming in fast and furious in the chat. Did you know that the source of Koryan's power is the Sonic the Hedgehog towel?
Well, we all actually did know that. That is not a new...
Yeah, that's a common fact, yes.
Yeah, everybody, you got to do better than that, chat. We all knew that. All right, 144 for Koryan, 87,000 for Batfoy. And neither player with a stack to write home about, but Koryan only a couple pieces away from being Tetris ready again, which he is.
Batfoy building a dirty Tetris here. Oh, there you go.
And converts it. Is Koryan the oldest max out player? I think that's a good bet because he is, what, 42 now? I think he and I are basically the same age, and I'm almost 42. And I can't imagine somebody older than me maxing out because, I mean, I just look at my deterioration happening on a daily basis, and I can't imagine anything good coming from that. So.
This is a very random question, but I have been thinking about this for a while. What other NES games would benefit from hyper tapping?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think that is one for our chat as well. That's a great question.
If anyone has any thoughts, please let us know in the chat. I'm genuinely curious what other game.
All right, 288 Koryan.
Mega Man? I don't know about Mega Man. I'm not sure about how hyper tap. Unless you're like shoot. I don't know if hyper tapping would necessarily be conducive to moving and shooting at the same time. I don't know. I'd have to see that in action.
Well, there are, for example, speedrun categories which disallow turbo functions, but some games do sort of require it. So, like Contra, for example. You're not allowed to use turbo functions if you're running a speedrun category for Contra, but yet you want to shoot really fast. So pretty much that game is entirely mashing the whole time.
So people are saying, watch any speedrunners. Yeah, I'm going to have to check more out.
Yeah, 359 for Koryan now, 264 for Batfoy. So almost 100,000 point lead. Both with great looking stacks, though. Dead even in lines, both waiting on long bars. Koryan getting one, Batfoy getting one.
I always found it fascinating, like Koryan was looking away a couple times there. That was something that Joseph did a lot in the tournament in 2018. And I honestly thought while he was doing that would be one reason that he might lose a game or two. But it just, the focus that they have, even not being completely dialed into the screen, is remarkable.
Well, as you say that, JD did, or Joseph, I always think of him as JD because it's kind of started, but that's how he started. When he was on Twitch, he was JD, but I think he's kind of becoming more Joseph now instead of JD. But Yeah, he made a few errors during that game, and it did all seem to come from sort of this looking at the other screen. And maybe that's our fault as broadcasters for not giving the scores. So maybe it's our fault. 457 for Koryan, 383 for Batfoy. Neither player's board looking great, but Koryan finally opens up the right side after some Tetramino gymnastics and bangs in a Tetris. 482 for him, 387 for Batfoy. Opens up the right side, drops in a Tetris.
Yeah, gets in that timely L piece in succession, actually, and does very well with them. And Batfoy building very well here. See that slope slowly but surely building.
Yep. And these are great transition paces for tournaments. Both approaching level 19, and it's going to get faster. All right, and both
Batfoy will transition.
Both players Tetris into the transition. And this is almost hypnotic, Arda. Like, you just watch it and you're like, what can I even say to him? It's like you're just mesmerized. Yeah,
this is where I tend to focus on one player. Like, I don't like to switch back and forth after transition because it's you're right, it's hypnotic. It's you want to be able to give your full attention to one player and see exactly how they're strategizing and making those split-second decisions at the same time after this transition, which makes it tough as a commentator because you got to focus on both of them.
Yeah, and I'm too old to do that. So
but both of them are doing very well here. Like another Tetris there for Batfoy, but you can see that the stacks are being built very well. They're both expert players in the transition. You could tell they've done this once or twice.
Mm-hmm. All right, so both now on level 22. Koryan 700,000, Batfoy 564. So Koryan pulling away a bit. And it's going to get to a point where if the lead is large enough for Koryan, there might not be much Batfoy can do about it.
One thing that I appreciated a lot last month with Harry Hong was that he was able to do the math well in advance. So you knew if he would tell you if a matchup was very close to being done, even if there was still a minute or two left, because he was doing the math in real time in his head.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to ask him, do you do that while you're competing as well? Are you able to do that while you're playing and competing in matchups?
Well, if you watch his stream, you will see that, because his stream is basically going for max outs, like full stop, right? Full bore. And so he'll be able to tell you, like, oh, it's level 25 and I've got such and such a score. There's no chance, right? And then he'll, just go completely ham and try to, squeeze every last Tetris out. All right, so 769 for Koryan, Batfoy 669, 100,000 point lead. Koryan Tetrises, Batfoy waiting for his.
One thing that Koryan and other, I asked them just like advice tips on the best things to do and consider, especially when you're well into transition. And they said, when you're building your Tetris wells, have a couple of combinations in mind to block the well and then reopen the well. It's very important to be able to quickly get in and out of those situations, and that comes with practice.
So here we have Koryan on level 27 and Batfoy on level 27. Don't think a max out is going to be possible here for Koryan, but this could be a double kill screen game. Koryan 11 lines away from kill screen. Batfoy 13 lines away. Both boards getting kind of complicated, though.
The Koryan score might be a little bit unattainable for Batfoy right now. He's at 895 and Batfoy's down at 740.
Yeah, Batfoy's not going to be able to catch up here, but, I think if you're playing, certainly you want to do the best you possibly can and go as fast as... Oh, level... Whoa! Did you see that on Batfoy's side? So Koryan won the match, but Batfoy had two pieces in a row where it was a T-spin and a line spin down the right side. Successive pieces, and that was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen on two successive
at that level
pieces.
too, at that speed, incredible.
Yeah, Unfortunately, it doesn't result in a victory for Batfoy, but wow, highlight reel worthy material right there. Koryan gets the heart. Batfoy shows off his incredible skill, and Koryan is now up 1 game to nothing over Batfoy here in a best of 3. It's almost brutal that this is a best of 3. It should definitely be a best of 5. We don't have the time in the broadcast to do it, but we might have to get to that point. All right. We're going to have to... We need instant replay, Arda. We got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, so we're going to hire a bunch of a production team. We're going to have a replay director, a field producer. We're going to produce features. We're going to blow this up, man.
Yeah, we just need a budget. So get those bits in. We're going to do it. We're going to do it bit by bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just send us a bunch of bits, and you'll get replays in the CTM.
That's right. Bits for replays. Okay, we need a ready from both players. Oh my god. Oh, that's true. Well, somebody did say that best of 5 is too much Tetris. I'm not going to say who that was, but that is a true statement. So we need we got a ready from Batfoy, and thanks so much for the bits, Miss Tech 43. You didn't really have to cheer, but much appreciated.
Thank you, Miss Tech.
And it's okay. So ready from Batfoy, and we got a ready from Koryan. So let's go ahead and count it down. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
So does 200 bits? Do you think we could hire a replay producer for an entire year on that?
So do you know how much a bit is worth?
I don't.
It's a 1 bit. It's kind of a bit. 1 bit is worth 1 penny. So
okay, I see.
So that is 200. That is $2. And you know what's kind of crazy about bits is people pay like for two. Like, I shouldn't talk about this, but people pay like $3 for like $2 worth of bits. I mean, Twitch is making out like a bandit on this stuff. We got to figure this out, Arda. Me and you, we're going to figure out a system where we sell $2 worth of stuff for $3.
Yes, we will. We're
going to do this.
Maybe it'll be the Kevin and Kyle commentary streams where we go and commentate on people's streams, and we'll just get a bunch of bits, and that's how we're going to live.
Or we could make a cryptocurrency. Like we could do.
That's right. That's right. Yes. Tetcoin.
Or Kyle coin. How about that?
Yeah, Kyle coin. Yep. T-spin coin. Something Tetris right. related.
Speaking of T-spin, I'm still kind of. I still got adrenaline from watching Batfoy with those 2 successive spins. It's one of the most insane things right? I've ever seen, and that's the 9th seed. Like what?
O blockchain, something like that.
O blockchain is really good. Did you make that up, or did you steal that from the chat?
I just made it up. No. I just made it up.
That was really good. See, that's why
I get credit for that one.
That's why you get paid.
Batfoy has to do a little bit of digging here, just with that L piece, but he'll be fine at level 18. Koryan still just smooth like a symphony. Just he's the conductor of an orchestra, back and forth, swaying so well. Hey, let's bring in a little bit of the brass section here, and then just drops the Tetris when needed. It's a beautiful sight to see.
Mm-hmm. You know, Batfoy, not too shabby himself, back by about a Tetris, dead even in lines with Koryan. And Batfoy is a very good stacker, also very creative player as well. And he is back by still about a Tetris from Koryan. And we were mentioning in the last broadcast, Batfoy is one of the few players, all right, he's got a webcam. He's one of the few players that actually has like a room with color in it. Like everybody's got these beige and white walls. And Batfoy with a great, deep, rich blue here. And it's going to be a very serene place to play Tetris. But everybody else has these beige and cream-colored walls and furniture.
It's nice. It's nice to see a change in scenery once in a while, especially here on the CTM stream.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody that seems to be playing is very much living in like my first apartment. Like, get some paint on the walls, people. All right, 254 now for Koryan, 209 for Batfoy. Pretty darn close in lines. Batfoy with a Tetris. Oh, Batfoy had a line spin opportunity. I cannot pass up a line spin opportunity myself. But that's pretty much the only thing I'm good at. Otherwise, I'm pretty awful. Arda, have you now? Okay, Arda, here's the question. You were brought on to the CTWC broadcast team. What is your history with Tetris? Were you playing this before? Have you started to play it since? What's the deal?
Tetris my entire life. Favorite game growing up, definitely. And I picked it back up probably, I'd say mid-2000s. Played a bunch of titles. Puyo Tetris, I got heavily into the online play. Tetris 99, I play every day. And watching, I don't play classic Tetris. I like to watch classic Tetris because I'm just not good at classic Tetris.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I'm not good at it. I really am not. Yeah. So I enjoy watching it because it's like the subreddit, oddly satisfying.
Yeah.
It's just very satisfying to watch. So that's why I enjoy doing commentary on it, because the little nuances of it, to me, make for such a compelling spectacle. So I advocate, I push for it everywhere I can, whether I'm talking with whatever outlets I work for, or if there's any compelling stories, I always try to make a pitch. So hopefully one day something will stick and you'll see Tetris, pushed more and more on a grand scale, because I know we all love it and we all enjoy it, and it deserves especially with the numbers that it gets with the tournaments and what we see on YouTube. It definitely does deserve its time in the spotlight.
We're gonna get you a Nintendo. We're gonna get you hooked on it. That's my goal. I'm
awful. No, Van, I'm awful. I am terrible at. I fully admit this. I'm awful at NES Tetris. It's not even worth an attempt.
I feel like it's. I'm gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this. We're gonna get this to happen. The more you resist, the more I want it to happen. All right, so 454 for Koryan, 392 for Batfoy. Koryan getting up a little bit high, and this is where you're going to see the hyper tap come in. If he were a DAS player, maybe wouldn't be able to play up that high, but he's got the hyper tap where he can rip pieces over to the left, and that's going to allow him to play that high. Bit of a high board going into 19, but clean and able to knock it down with a Tetris. Still got about 100,000 point lead over Batfoy at this point.
It's almost like it doesn't matter too, because Koryan is such that, like, you saw him celebrate a little there because maybe he thought he was just a little, but still was able to get the Tetris.
All right, I mean, Koryan's board, just looks insanely. It's just so perfect at these speeds.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. And a Tetris, and he's already ready. He's already ready. Wasn't that a commercial in the 90s? I don't remember what that was. Nobody here was born in the 90s, so they have no idea.
Don't count out Batfoy, though. Just a little bit of a misplacement there on the eyepiece, which will top him out. So.
Yep, 448 top out for Batfoy, and Koryan is going to move on to represent the orange bracket. In this poor orange bracket, they ran into a buzzsaw yet again.